GTX 980 versus the GTX 1050 Ti. We're gonna let them fight it out and see who comes out on top. As far as price goes, at the time of recording this video, the GTX 1050 Ti looks like you'll be lucky if you find it in the $65 range on eBay. $90 to $120 seems a little bit more common. The GTX 980 seems to go pretty regularly at $80, so that's not too terrible. Now let's test these out in some games. We tested with the Ryzen 7 2700X as far as our CPU goes, with 16 gigabytes of RAM. In games like Fortnite, Overwatch 2, and Valorant that rely more on a CPU, you're not going to see a whole lot of difference with these GPUs if you play in the competitive settings. I have a video that shows these titles in more detail if you want to check it out, but I think to really decide who wins this battle, we're going to have to make the GPUs work just a little bit harder. First up in GTA 5 on the high settings at 1080p, we have the 980 getting over 100 FPS the entire benchmark and staying over 140 most of the time. With the 1050 Ti though, we're not able to get a steady 100 and we never really drop below 80, which that's good, but not over 100. Next, we look at a more demanding title like Cyberpunk 2077. I tested it at high settings at 1080p, probably a mistake, but 980 got an average of, 38 FPS and a minimum of 27. But the 1050 Ti only got 32 FPS and a minimum of 22. In Red Dead Redemption 2, another title that's pretty demanding, we tested it at 1080p high settings once again, and the 980 got an average of 37 FPS and a minimum of 27. The 1050 Ti, an average of 29 and a minimum of 17. Then we went to everybody's favorite Modern Warfare 2 Call of Duty. 1080p basic settings, the 980 got an average of 106 and a minimum of 62, while the 1050 Ti got 68 FPS average and a low of 36. You can always squeeze out more FPS by lowering the settings in any of these titles, but as far as who won, you tell me down in the comments below and then go watch this video.